Okay, listen, you do not have to imagine what it's like to bask in the presence and glory of an entertainment legend whose music transcends time, because that's what's about to happen. We're talking about a true talent who has appeared on television and on Broadway, where she earned her Tony for Pearly. Over the years, this songstress has released nearly 30 albums, and after 4 decades of performing, we're getting even more music as her story continues with her latest album, Imagine. So please give it up for this New York's very own 4-time Grammy nominee, Tony Award winner, soon to be Hollywood Walk of Fame honoree, the forever marvelous Miss Melba Moore in the house.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. I am just saying, and don't tell me we are, because I said what I said, Miss Moore.
I didn't say that. I'm just glad to be here.
Listen, we are glad that you are here. That's what I'm saying. I don't have to imagine what it's like to be in the presence of greatness, because here I am in your presence talking about your new album, Imagine, which you say is a family affair. So talk to us about how that all came together.
Well, after all these years of doing albums and music and having success, it's time to pass the baton on to my daughter. Her name is Charlie. And she brought these songs to me over maybe the last couple of years of pandemic. We didn't have a lot to do, so we were listening to music. And she said, well, you know, I think you should record these songs. So to make a long story a little shorter, I did. We had about 20 songs, and then she brought them back to me. She said, okay, Marcia, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know. You brought them to me. So I said, why don't you mix them? Let me see what they sound like in some kind of sequence. And when I heard them, I thought, I sound kind of fresh. It doesn't sound like something I would normally have done. So I think that coming from her perspective, she gives me a new sound, a new way of presenting myself to people. And so it became a family project that way.
All right, so we have one of the songs, Imagine. So we're going to take a listen and then we'll discuss.
Yes.
Yes.
Place of hope, place of peace. Imagine if love filled every street. Oh, hey, we'd all be free. Imagine how pure this world could be. Yeah.
All right, Miss Moore, I can't even. I wanted to go on and on and on and on, but since you're here, we got to talk to you about that. Imagine is just one of the songs on the record, which is already climbing the charts. So yes. Talk to us about the other songs, because I know it's like a love songs. It's like a whole like plethora.
Yes, romantic songs. There's one song called "Take Her Picture Down."
I know.
Well, we're having some kind of technical difficulties with the relationship of a couple that apparently she's visiting him, but he has somebody else's picture up. So it's not all smooth and honey, you know, because romance can sometimes be rocky. But I think the feel, because of the music, is very beautiful. It's contemporary. So it just gives me a new framework. And I'm glad that you've listened to it a little bit, because no matter what I say about it, I need people to go out and listen to it and then tell me what they think about it.
Well, yeah, they need to listen. And as soon as they hear that it's from the marvelous Miss Moore, they are definitely going to listen. Are they kidding? What are they waiting for? You know what I mean? and let me just say, we mentioned this earlier, like multiple Grammy nominated artist is who you are, Tony Award winner. You're about to get your Hollywood Walk of Fame. You've been nearly 30 albums, and you're still going.
I'm getting ready to get 2 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awards.
I know. I was getting to that because there's so much on the list.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's fine. But seriously, like after all these years, like it's to be still relevant, to be still recognized, to be still honored, and by the president himself. I have a restraining order from the White House, and you're getting 2, not 1, but 2 awards. 2.
Well, please don't restrain him from me, because it seems like the heavens have opened up right now in this time of my life. And I'm particularly grateful to have a brand new album out, because after having such a long, wonderful career, it doesn't happen all the time. So this is nothing ordinary. I'm very, 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 very excited, to say the least. Now I'll shut up.
Because you are extraordinary. That's why it's nothing. Like, you only do extraordinary things. Like, after all these decades, you are still on top. People are still recognizing you. I say your name, people are like, oh my God, she's here? I was like, no, simmer down. She's not here. She's via Zoom. But I did tell them they will feel your presence, because that's how you are. Wherever you are, we feel your presence. We hear your voice. We feel your talent. And I can't wait to see you next year for the Walk of Fame as well. And
yes, that's going to be next. We haven't been given a date, but the Walk of Fame will be done in 2023. We know that much, and they'll give us more information as we get closer. But I'm going to be with y'all permanently on your sidewalk in Hollywood.
That's right. And we're going to see you at the Grammy Museum, like in, when, 2 days from now?
Yeah,
you performing?
Thursday. Yes, I'm performing at the Grammy Museum in Newark. They have some of my costumes and stuff in their museum.
Because you have
I'm
the
just
best
all over the place in such a beautiful way. I'm just so grateful.
Listen, like your outfits, like your costumes, like when we look back at the videos, the album covers, the performances, I was like, what in the artwork is going on here? Because you are like, it doesn't even, like, it doesn't make sense. And I know, like, Bob Mackie, even for your variety show, Bob Mackie designed some of the dresses and stuff. So speaking of variety shows and stuff, will we get to see some of that from you coming back to TV, doing more of that?
Yes, you will. A lot of it's going to be streamed so people can kind of be reminded of who I am and who I was, because you'll see footage of the Melba Moore Clifton Davis show, the B. Arthur special, the Flip Wilson show, the Ed Sullivan show, Carol Burnett, and all of the various Johnny Carson, all of the various television shows that I did, some of the dramatic shows I did, like there used to be a show called Hotel. I don't know,
What
tons of them.
Hotel with Sherry Belafonte and Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's more than I can mention, but y'all gonna be seeing me the way I was and the way I am and the way I will be.
Oh, we can't get enough. Please give us more, Miss Moore. Just keep giving us more. We cannot get enough. So we can't wait for your performance at the Grammy Museum, like on Thursday. Such a pleasure meeting you. Like I said, we are not worthy. Look at that. Look at that work of art. Imagine it's her new album. It's currently available.
That outfit is by my designer, David Joseph. Let me give credit to those talented people.
Hi, David Joseph, and whoever did the hair, the everything from head to toe, flawless.
Yes.
Imagining it, everyone. It's her new album. It's currently available everywhere music is sold. Like I just said, go get it. Go support her. She is a national treasure, and the president agrees because she's going to be hanging out with him. I won't. Love you, Miss Moore.
A note. Enjoy the day.
See you soon.